Hello everyone. Welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. I am Sanya and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro fast. So, in today's video we will discuss how to install Ubuntu Server 20.04 LTS step by step. So, let's get started. Ubuntu ranks as arguably the most popular Linux operating system. It is certainly one of the best known. However, Ubuntu varies quite a bit. Within Ubuntu, there are two distinct flavors, a stable release and a long-term service LTS iteration. Further, Ubuntu splits into Ubuntu Cloud, Ubuntu Core, Ubuntu Desktop and Ubuntu Server. Ubuntu Server then is an operating system for a server based on Ubuntu. To download the ISO file of Ubuntu Server, open any of your favorite web browser and type here Ubuntu Server 20.04 LTS download. Click on this link. Now from here click on this option 2 manual server installation. Here you can see you can download Ubuntu Server 20.04 LTS. As I have already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again. Now once the download is completed, I'm going to use Balena Etcher application in order to flash the image onto a USB, CD or DVD. Balena Etcher is an easy to use application available for Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So the first thing I'm going to do is select image, flash from files, and here you can see open it. Next thing I will select the USB, CD or DVD where I want to flash the installer onto. So here you can see I have one option, so I'm going to select it. Since I have USB already inside my computer and that's the only option, it will go ahead and select it automatically. If you have different options, you can select most suitable among them because it will delete the entire contents in order to flash the installer onto the disk. Now I'm going to hit the flash button. You need to give Balena Etcher the administration privileges in order to start flashing. After you flashing a disk, you will take it over to the computer or server where you want to install Ubuntu 20.04 server and insert it. After you have that set up, you will save and exit out of your BIOS and you should see a screen similar to this one. So I am going to show you a same installation process but on VirtualBox. Here I'll create a new machine. Click on new. And from here, you need to give the name that is essentially Ubuntu Server. Here's the machine folder, the path where machine will be installed. You can check the type and version as they are perfectly fine, so click on Next. Here you will select the amount of memory in megabytes to be allocated to the virtual machine. While the recommended size is 1024 MB, I'll set it around and then hit Next button. Now, if you wish, you can add a virtual hard disk to the new machine. You can either create a new hard disk file or select one from the list or from another location using the folder icon. So, I'll go with the default value, create a virtual hard disk now, and here I'll click on Create button. From here, you will choose the type of the file that you would like to use for the new virtual hard disk. Well, I'll go with the VDI VirtualBox disk image and click here on Next button. You will choose whether the new virtual hard disk file should grow as it is used, dynamically allocated, or if it should be created at its maximum size. I'll suggest you always choose dynamically allocated hard disk file because it will only use space on your physical hard disk as it fills up. Now click on Next button. From here you will select the size of the virtual hard disk in gigabytes. Well, I'm going to select it around 20 gigabytes and then create. Our machine has been created. So now start this machine. Here you need to select a virtual optical disk file or a physical optical drive containing a disk to start your new virtual machine from. So click on it. Here you can see we don't have the optical disk selector, so cross it, also cross it, go to the devices and then optical devices, and from here choose disk file open. As you can see, our machine has been created. Now go to the storage option and here start. Now here you can see the default language choice is English. If this is the language you wish to use, then press enter. Now on this screen, choose whether you wish to update the installer or not. If you are connected to the internet, using the arrow keys to select to update to the new installer and then hit enter. Otherwise, you can skip this step. Well, I will choose the option update to new installer and then hit enter. Now here, you need to wait while the updated installer being downloaded. It will take some time and the installer restart automatically when the download is completed. Once the installer has completed the update, you will now need to choose a keyboard layout. The default is English US. If you are okay with this default, then choose done and press enter. Now it is time to configure networking. By default, the installer will look for a DHCP address and automatically configure networking. However, you should set the IP address now to a valid configuration for your network. You could write down the address assigned and use it as a static configuration. If you choose that route, be sure to make that address a static reservation in your DHCP server configuration. Now, to configure a static address, I'm going to select this ENPOS-ETH, which is in my case, and I'm going to click on Done button and then hit enter. Now this screen will ask you to configure a proxy address. If you use one to access the internet, enter that address here. Otherwise, leave it blank and select done and then press enter. Now here you need to press enter. Now it is time to choose a disk configuration. Well, I'm going to stick with the default option, that is use an entire disk, and then I'm going to hit done button. Now here review the storage configuration. Now would be a good time to document the disk configuration too. If you are satisfied with your configuration, then choose done and then press enter. Otherwise, you can reset it. Well, I'm perfectly fine with the default storage configuration, so I'm gonna hit enter button. Since formatting and partitioning a disk is considered destructive, you will see a confirmation dialog. You need to choose continue and then hit enter. Now this screen will be the profile setup screen. This account will be the root user account for your server. Here you need to enter your name, your server name. You need to pick a username, a password, and then you have to confirm the password. And then hit done button. Now you are asked whether or not you want to install OpenSSH server. If you are only going to use the virtual machine console to access the server, skip installation. You can install OpenSSH later. However, if you plan to utilize SSH connectivity to manage your host, make sure install OpenSSH server is selected. It is easier to do it now than to install and configure later. Now to enable a passwordless secure login. So I'm going to hit the done button and then hit enter. Now you are about to finish. Now it is time to install some of the most popular snaps that are available for Ubuntu server. If you want to, then you can select and then choose done and hit enter. Otherwise, just select done and then hit enter. Ubuntu server will now begin installing. Typically, installation will only take a few minutes on virtual machine. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video and it helped you to install Ubuntu Server 20.04 LTS. If you need any help, reach out to us in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications of our upcoming videos. I'll see you in the next video.